The Raptors 905 return home after a successful 4-game road trip as they get set to square off against the newest team in the NBA G League, the Valley Suns. Hi, everyone, and welcome inside the Paramount Fine Food Center in Mississauga. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Warren Ward. Akil Augustine will join us shortly. Successful road trip, I mentioned. Really good. 3-1. The 905 went on the road.
Absolutely. Beating an impressive Maine Celtics team twice and then following that up with an OKC Blue win. And you see the numbers. I mean, 905 really came together on that road trip, and I think that's the most important thing. When you're on the road, it's just you and your team. And I think the 905 executed offensively and defensively, most importantly, and they pulled away with 3 wins.
They did lose the final game of that road trip to Grand Rapids, but one guy stuck out in that game. Ulrich Shamshe had a double-double and 6 blocks. He just continues to grow.
Exactly, and that's the word I was going to use. Growth. He continues to improve. We see the numbers, they speak for themselves, but his intangibles, his ability to listen and then apply, and I think that's why he's been able to continue to improve, and he's a perfect complement to Mr. Frank Kaminsky.
We'll talk a little more Shamshe in just a moment, but for now, the starting lineup for the 905, which features 3 different guys who spend time with the Raptors. Jacoby Walter, Jamison Battle, and Jonathan Mobo are all right now in the lineup for the 905. A pretty stacked roster they bring into the game.
Yeah, they brought some heavy reinforcements. I mean, Mobo, we've seen his potential. I think he's someone who can attack downhill and try and get to the rim and use his length defensively as well. Jacoby Walter is a stud. He can really shoot the basketball, but I like his poise. And Evan Gilliard as well. He kind of sets the tone defensively and offensively, leading the group from that point guard position.
Canadian Tyrese Samuel wins the tip for the Valley Suns. And here are the Suns running their offense for the first time as David Stockton passes to the middle. One more, and it's mishandled by Samuel. Gets it back and into the corner. Not a lot of time to shoot. Mobo steps into the lane, stumbles, and he can't stay in bounds. Nearly had the steal and the run out.
And there's an example of Mobo using his length defensively just to disrupt. I mean, deflections are not charted in basketball, and I think they should be, and there's a good example of what he can do on the defensive end.
Just saw Coach Drew Jones, John Little on the other side for Valley. Coming around the screen, Ty Washington back out to Stockton. And Mobo trying to rip down the rebound, taps it over to Walter. Battle is ahead, they get it over to Gilliard, and he'll slow down the offense. 2 very fast-paced teams coming into this game, near the tops in the G League. They work it over to Kaminsky. He'll initiate a lot of offense. Battle and Mobo in the key. Walter's going to take it himself with the shot clock dwindling. Kick out. Gilliard has the hoist, and he nearly put it in. Put back by Kaminsky, no good, but he'll go to the line and get the 905 bench up.
Great job by Frank Kaminsky, just crashing the glass. You know, sometimes the best players don't need a play called for them whatsoever. That's just hustle, energy, and heart, and a little bit of determination as well.
Maybe a little bit extra going into this game for the NBA veteran Frank Kaminsky, who played some time with the Phoenix Suns in the NBA. This is the
motivation.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Gilliard somehow rips down the offensive board. And a turnaround from Battle is just out, but another offensive board for the 905. Mobo cut to the hoop, but Gilliard keeps it. 6 to shoot. Kaminsky screen. Gilliard's got to go himself, and he scores on the 3rd opportunity of the possession.
Great decision by Gilliard. He's patient, and 6 seconds left on the clock. He did not panic, called for a ball screen, and got Stockton on his back straight to the rim.
First bucket in what should be a pretty high-scoring game between these two teams. Stockton for 3, and it's good.
That is why, as we both know, coming into this game, the scouting report on this Valley Suns team is they can get hot from deep, and they shoot a lot of threes. They're first in the G League in makes and attempts, 17 a game made, 47 attempted.
That's a lot of threes.
That is a lot of threes, my friend.
Mid-range from Walter, and a rebound there for Samuel, Montreal native who played at Florida. Stockton tried to get it back to Samuel, and Gilliard stumbling. I think just incidentally committed a foul there.
Gilliard definitely has a more calming presence when it comes to his point guard play. I think he's definitely a leader and someone for his size. He commands that type of respect on the floor, and the 905 have gotten off to really good starts when he does start at that position.
Jalen Bridges drew a foul from Jonathan Mobo off the inbound, so Bridges will go to the line. Gilliard's had some big performances recently. You go back to the road trip. He scored 15 in the January 13th win over Oklahoma City, which is his most of the regular season. But the passing tends to be what sticks out even more than the scoring. Would you agree?
I definitely, but I think it's a combination of both. The fact that he's a threat to score and he's a trick passer as well.
Left that one a little bit low. Here comes the Canadian Samuel. Wood inside. Swing all the way around to Stockton. Fakes up Mobo. Wood replaced in the corner but misses the three. Stockton with a hand on the offensive rebound. Washington for three, and that's good. Ty Washington, the leading scorer on the Suns, gets his first bucket.
21 a game for Ty Washington. We've seen him around the G League for a while. Big guard as well. Very versatile.
Washington on a two-way this year with the Suns as Walter drew the foul. He'll go to the line. Washington shoots 41% from three as well if you go from regular season all the way back to the winter tip-off tournament.
Good job by Jacoby Walter there being aggressive and talking about the Valley Suns shooting. I mean, 44% from three as a group.
It might not be sustainable, but even if that drops to 39, you're probably the best three-point shooting team in the league.
By far, by far. And just the fact that they've been able to keep it up and they shoot so many, it's highly impressive. And there they get another one. Stockton getting the roll here in Mississauga.
Hit 2 threes in his last game. He's already equaled that in this one. David Stockton leads the game with 6 points. And Valley up a touchdown early on. Kaminsky rescreens and rolls to the hoop. Looking for a pass option as Walter finds him. Flares the screen. Back to Kaminsky. Fakes up two. Got a hoist. Gilliard's open. And he hits.
Again, more patience by the 905. Great job not forcing a shot. You know what happens sometimes when a team is coming in and shooting a lot of threes? You tend to want to do the same to match that type of energy.
Right.
905 are just playing their game and getting good shots.
Kaminsky with the strip and his steal, and he passes it ahead to Walter. Mobo attacking Bridges, flicks it up at the line.
Great physicality by Mobo, brushing off Wood with that left shoulder and then finishing with his left hand on the right side. Impressive finish.
One early impact from Frank Kaminsky as well as another three goes down for Ty Washington.
Going to keep a tracker on how many they've attempted, and that's 4. I mean, all of their field goals have been threes.
Gilliard to Kaminsky. They've run a ton of offense through him so far. He had the mismatch and just fully stopped.
Great job, Frank. Do not waste no time. That's a mouse in the house, literally. You're 7 feet. You have to score. Great job.
Stockton listed 5'11". Across the key pass, turnaround Samuel, and a rebound for Mobo.
And they're being generous with that. 5'11". They're being generous.
Stockton, the son of the NBA all-time assisted steal leader John Stockton. Nice give and go here, but the pass too far for Mobo. Mobo just punches his way inside, can't finish the dunk. He will go to the line, though, as he tried to put Bridges on a poster. You don't see a lot of standing dunk poster attempts, but Mobo tried it.
He's trying to show more moves than a Rubik's Cube, right? Oh no. So close. That was straight vertical.
The 905 succeeding early on, going inside. This is a Suns team predicated on guard play, whether it's the starting guards or even some of the guards off the bench, like a Colin Gillespie or a Jaden Shackelford.
Absolutely. Team is definitely predicated on guard play. They're 29th in terms of rim protection in the G League, so they don't really have a shot blocker. They go small, they spread the floor, and they try and attack gaps, and they shoot threes. That is their game plan with the size, and in today's NBA, you can do that.
They just took out their biggest player on the floor, Tyrese Samuel, as Washington goes inside, nearly traveled. Bridges for three, rattles out. Into the game in replacement of Samuel is 6'6" Caleb Johnson. Walter transition three, no, and a rebound there for Stockton. Johnson sprinted the court, to the near corner. A give off and a deep three there. Missed by Washington. And this is Suns basketball. It'll look ugly when it's not going well, and it'll look really pretty when it is.
Exactly. And I think that's a lot for most teams in the NBA. We could even talk about when the Celtics were here a few days ago. They did not shoot well, and it didn't look good in terms of how many attempts they're taking to how many makes they're getting. And Valley Suns kind of fall in the same boat. If you're gonna shoot threes, you got to live with the result.
A lot of threes in this one. 9:05 will be at the line when we return, but right now a timeout on the floor with the Suns up 14-13 and threes flying from all areas. Washington hit one from the wing. Kaminsky passed over, and Gilliard connected from the corner.
We've got a one-point game here in Mississauga. As mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Frank Kaminsky, a calming force on the inside for this Raptors 905 team. And he had a podcast appearance with Blake Murphy about a week ago where he talked about his role with this group. And he also talked about his relationship with young Ulrich Chomche, who's checked into the game right now to replace him, and the role he's trying to play in this young man's life, only 19 years old. But you take a look at the two guys and you say, very different players. I actually checked in with Coach Drew, and he talked about the fact that you got the young vet with Kaminsky, and yet the even younger, still learning, more defensively minded Chomche. But he said the relationship's been beautiful. The two are learning off of each other, and it's something that he hopes continues to blossom as this 905 team kind of goes with the lightning and thunder dual-headed center attack, as you see Chomche flying past in an attempt to block that one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Akil. Yeah, I liked one term that Coach Drew used today. He called them yin and yang. They are so opposite in so many ways. Not only can they learn from each other, but it's two very different weapons that the 905 have. As Mobo picks up an offensive foul to turn it over, you have such different styles at the 5.
Absolutely, and I was kind of talking about that in the pregame about just the fact that he's the perfect complement to a Frank Kaminsky, because Kaminsky's game is more offensive. It's more based, especially defensively, it's more based on his ability to be in position, whereas Chomsky's raw. His game is based on instincts right now. He doesn't know the moves, and he doesn't have the experience yet in terms of how to be everywhere and how to be effective offensively like a Kaminsky does. Right. So it's a perfect complement for those, so he can learn so much, and maybe Kaminsky can learn a thing or two about shot blocking. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Jacoby Walter hits the baseline jumper. He's the only starter still in the game right now for the 905. AJ Lawson 0-0. Eugenio Marui 97. Single 0 is Kennedy Chandler, and 22 Ulrich Chomche into the game. Step back 3 for Washington. Missed it with Chomche's hand in his face. Marui passes over the defense to Chomche. Baseline cut Chandler, but the pass deflected. Chomche now working inside as Omarui drives in. Kick out Walter. And he'll flick it up there. Thought he was fouled. Chomche on the follow-up.
They have a size mismatch at most positions, so it's good to see Chomche being aggressive. Just move Ty Washington out the way and grab that offensive board and put it up right away. Did not come down with the basketball.
Tallest Sun on the floor is 6'8" as Jaden Shackelford misses his first field goal attempt. The other way, a pass ahead, and Lawson flies in. Could have easily drawn a foul as well. The 905 take the lead.
Great job by the 905 getting out and running in transition. I know the Suns like to play fast, but it can be a detriment to them because of the size of the 905, and if they miss, they got to get back defensively. I think you're right here. This could have been a foul as well when they get in transition. 2 dribbles. Chandler makes a good decision, and right there on the body could have been a foul as well, but no matter.
Jared Roden will check into the game now as Walter comes out. So all 5 starters out of the game. But the 905 with a ton of depth today.
Yes, sir. I was just about to say that. Their depth, I think, can wear down the Valley Suns in terms of the size and the different lineups they can put on the floor, and out here in transition especially.
Roden with the 2-hand flush. Lawson started it with a deflection. Omoruyi picked up the steal, and it'll be a timeout for the Valley Suns as the 905 have scored 7 straight. Defense translating into offense for the 905, and that's why they have the early advantage, 21-18 here in Mississauga. We continue to develop, or monitor the development rather, of Ulrich Shamshe, who's coming off another big game against the Grand Rapids Golden. He's off to a good start today as well, Warren.
Absolutely. 2 rebounds in this one, 2 points, and I talked about it earlier in the pregame. Just his most intangible skill is his ability to listen and apply. And as a young player, it's the most important thing that you can do. And we've seen his development, and I think it's more so mentally because physically he has all the tools. We see him, his length, his athleticism, those are things that have been God-given, but his ability to time when he jumps and his fearlessness to attack blocks, and then his ability now to listen to coaching and feedback when he gets the ball on the block, how to now score and be effective around the rim.
Drive on Shamshe there turns into points for the Suns. Cassius Stanley on the board. Yeah, it feels like every time we come out and watch the 905, it's a new skill added for Shamshe. He does something we hadn't seen him do before. As Lawson gets tripped up, that's going to be a foul against Shackelford and the Suns.
And that's a credit to the coaching staff, but it's also a credit to Ulrich Shamshe and his ability to go out game after game and improve.
Shamshe, 19 years old, the youngest player on the 905, and Lawson now will go to the line. 5 fouls on the Suns. First foul on Jaden Shackelford, who's a big force off the bench. 17 points per game for Valley. Free throw missed. Omoruyi scrapping for the rebound. And it's last touch 905, although a good effort from the Torontonian, Gino Omoruyi. Cassius Stanley's going to carry it up. 25-year-old Los Angeles native who played at Duke. Gives it over to Caleb Johnson. Shackelford deep 3, and he connects.
And that's what he does, my friend. We talked about, 12 attempts off the bench, and a lot of those are threes. He makes almost 3 threes a game. So 905 needs to be ready and willing to see his hot trigger.
Meanwhile, right down the floor goes Moses Wood for the jam. No one got in his way in transition, and the Suns are back up top by 4. Rodin left open, replaced by Omaruyi. And now Shamshe gets the ball, battling for position. Nice cut, but Lawson was falling away. Chandler for three. And Shamshe secures the rebound. Back inside, Lawson pushes it up and can't score. The rebound for Valley. Shackelford directing offense to the corner. Wood open for three. And it just stayed out. Suns 5 for 11 from three. Shamshe trying to establish position again. He'll leave the key for Lawson to drive in, and he scores through contact. Second time probably he could have asked for an and one.
Tough take on Lawson. I knew when he caught that basketball, he was looking at that baseline, hesitated at first, and then drove and took the contact and still able to finish. Very strong play by A.J. Lawson.
Shackelford thought he drew contact, scores it anyway. My goodness. What a three, and that's going to be a timeout for the 9:05 as the Suns have raced out to a 5-point lead.
Safe to say the shackles are off.
Seriously, nice. Seriously, Jaden Shackelford hoisting from anywhere, and it's working. He's hit 2 threes in the last couple minutes, and that's why Valley has this 28-23 lead. He'll hit the spot-ups, but hey, even when he's just heaving it up, he's got a good chance. Valley up by 5. Jaden Shackelford leading the game right now with 8 points. It's been a good couple days for him so far. He's had a good first quarter today. And I'd imagine the former Alabama Crimson Tide player and his son's teammate, Ty Washington of Kentucky, probably watched the Alabama-Kentucky game yesterday, and it went in Alabama's favor. So he's had a good couple days. Jamison Battle out of Ohio State hits the floater right there. It's a 3-point game.
Purposely left him out of the talking points in the opening of the game because Battle's been here and he continues to improve, and that's an area he definitely has shown improvement in, is getting to the rim. He's not just a shooter.
David Stockton goes to the rim on Battle. He's up to 8 points, and the Suns back up 5. Step back three is good for Jared Rodin.
Good shot for Jared Rodin. He's been locked in to this 905 team, just contributing in a variety of different ways, rebounding defensively and doing that. His pull-up, deadly.
He's been in a lot of different roles, too. He might be the starting point guard one night. He might be the bench 2 guard the other day. Pass gets knocked up in the air, was a little too hot going into the corner, and Rodin picks up the steal, and he'll race in for the lefty lay-in. 9:05 up by, or pardon me, tied in this game. It's 30 apiece.
Yep.
Other way, huge block, Shamshe. They get him for the foul, and the 9:05 are asking for a review.
Shamshe's saying challenge.
Everyone on the 9:05 bench got up, twirling around a finger. They're all locked in right now on the computer monitor, and they will ask for a review. Drew Jones, somewhat upset to even have to use it.
And he goes out and gives Shamshe a high five for that. Shamshe waited for that block attempt. I mean, he was timing this perfect. Look at this, straight up, no, that's a clean block. That's getting overturned. I don't even have to look twice. That's getting overturned. Absolutely.
Could see, if you just look in the back corner there on that review, the whole Raptors bench immediately up. And they will take a look at this now. The crew chief is Brent Haskell. He's 34. He and number 72, Marshy Williams, are looking at it right now with Josh Reed standing just behind. The call on the floor is a foul. So they do have to be 100% confident, but you feel pretty compelled by the evidence there.
I mean, I'm looking for some body contact. He goes up straight vertical. There's no body contact anywhere. He hits the ball before he makes contact with the arm. And at that point, when you're up in the air that high, the arm is part of the ball. So, I mean, what do they call in the foul on? His shoe contact? There's really nothing. That's a clean block. And I give, like I said, look at that fearlessness by Shamshe. He's waiting for him to come and challenge him at the rim and says, no, get out.
Still looking at the replay right now of the referees. If it stood, then the Suns would be at the line. in this tie game 30-30. They're going to discuss right now the ramifications of what they just saw if they overturn it. I believe the 905 picked up the board, and they should have the basketball if this stands, although that could be something that the referees are discussing right now. What does happen to possession and otherwise if they make that call?
I find it really hard for them to not overturn the call. If they don't, I mean, anything's possible, but we'll see.
So they will be overturning this to a no call, and they were talking about possession a little bit because no one, they said, had the basketball at the time of the whistle. It'll be a jump ball at center court, but there's no foul on the play, according to Brent Haskell. So it's going to be an overturned call. It's going to be an emphatic block for Al Rashamshe and a lot of happy fans in Mississauga.
Absolutely, that's the correct call. And I'm assuming because of that, anyone can take the jump ball, so that would be probably...
Shamshe isn't at the center circle, but he is by far the most obvious candidate to take this jump. And I think he was confused. He thought, Shamshe, it looks like, that the 905 would just have the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead, he'll jump against Tyrese Samuel. Samuel won the opening tip of the game, although it was against Frank Kaminsky, not Ulrich Shamshe.
I heard Coach Drew during the timeout, I was eavesdropping, and he said no more threes for Jordan Shackelford. So we understand what the 905 need to take away from this Valley Suns team, who have 11 attempts in the game, and more than half are threes.
Let's go over to Akil Augustine as they get this jump ball going.
Well, I can back up what my man Warren Ward was saying, because Coach Drew simply looked at his guys in that last time out and said that's what they do. No more. He literally repeated that phrase verbatim about twice and told the guys to get up and get back on the floor. Warren?
We'll see what happens now, because 905 committed an offensive foul, legal screen by Shamshe. So we'll see if the three goes up here for the Suns or if they can chase them off.
Akil called me. I didn't even know what to follow up with.
I didn't want to step in for you, but
other than you're right. That's exactly what I was doing. Eavesdropping and listening to the same thing you heard.
Stockton isolated against Shamshe.
Good defense. There you go.
Blocked away. Poked ahead by Omarudi, but back to the Suns. Shackelford's always looking to hoist. Nice wraparound pass, but a little too far, and they turn it over. 7 seconds to go. One more chance to shoot for the 905.
Great defense by Shamshe on that last possession.
Rode in right to the rim. Doesn't even use all the clock. Just gets his 2 points to give the 905 the lead. Shackelford from near half, and he puts it off the backboard, and out the 905 take a slim advantage into the break after the first quarter. What do you think of that first?
I think defensively, 905 have to take it away. They definitely have to take away those three-point looks and just not give them as many clean looks. But I think offensively, they are doing a phenomenal job moving that basketball and playing their game and not falling into the trap of playing the fast-paced shoot-first attempt style as Valley.
905 with 20 points in the paint of their 32 overall, and that's why they're up 2 after 1.
Concourse outside of Section 1.
start of the second quarter, a quarter that has not been very friendly to the 905 over the last couple games. You see minus 31 in that quarter the last 2 games, including 43 points allowed to the Grand Rapids Gold in their last game in the second quarter.
It wasn't 905 defense, and I mean, you look at the averages on that road trip, they scored 116 points a game and gave up 150. So slim margins, but Grand Rapids really exposed the holes, and Coach Ceres basically said before the game they didn't bring it. And as a result, they lost that one. The other 3, they did.
See what the 905 have now as they go into the post with Mobo. He's left alone in isolation there, spins around and just misses with the left. Mobo had 4 points and 3 rebounds in the first quarter. Stockton pull up 3, and he got it.
That's dangerous. That's only 6 seconds off the shot clock, and you're getting a 3-point attempt, an uncontested one. Those are the ones that I think Coach Drew will be losing hair over.
You're throwing it back with the Suns. 6 seconds or less offense as it's a response from Lawson to give the 905 the lead.
That's a bit longer, though. There you go. Yeah, that's a good reference. Great book, by the way. 6 seconds or less.
Inside goes Samuel. Montreal native misses. And Gilliard in transition. Lawson raced to the corner. Gilliard gives it off to Walter. Inside, the scoop layup just rolled off the rim and out. Suns always looking for that quick 3 if they can find it. But a nice poke away by Walter to slow down Valley.
That's great defense individually by Jacoby Walter. He's a pest.
Gilliard fighting off that screen to stay on former 905er and Raptor Paul Watson, who's number 8 in white. Step back for Wood, and he hit it pretty nice there as he went behind the back to lose his defender.
Nice smooth move by Moses Wood. Behind the back, and when you play in the gaps, that's what happens. I mean, he wasn't trying to go for the ball. He's just stunting at the offensive player.
Savvy move from another son of a former NBA player. His dad, David, played 10 years in the NBA. Lawson gets the seam. A.J. Lawson inside with the tomahawk jam. And the 905 take the lead.
Moses Wood didn't move his feet like he made that move on that possession and got blown by it. Once you give A.J. Lawson that type of runway, he is going to take off like a 747. That's exactly what he did. Emphatic dunk.
Great start to the game for Lawson, too. Already has 9 points. Forced the deflection there, and it went off the foot of Bridges, out of bounds.
And I like it when he's more aggressive, going to the rim, putting the ball on the floor, and shooting secondarily instead of vice versa. Sometimes he gets into the trap of shooting that ball and trying to rely on that to get himself going. When he's aggressive and puts the ball on the floor, it's better for the 905 and better for him.
And he'll go to the line after he was smartly picked out way up the floor there in transition. Free throw rattles home, and Lawson is the first 905er into double digits, tying the game high with 11 points. Up to the rim by Bridges. Stockton knocked over there in the screen. And it'll be a foul against Mobo. They sent Bridges to the rim and Stockton up. There was a switch, and Mobo collided with Stockton. So for Mobo, he'll check out. Already his 3rd foul of the game in 9 minutes. And Gino Maruyi back in. Big roar for the Torontonian, who checks in. Screen for Bridges, who cuts to the rim from the right wing. They give it to the screener, Samuel. Driving on Kaminsky. Turnaround hook was all messed up. It was bouncing around in his hands, and he just never got a firm grip on it.
Ball was loose, had a little oil on it, couldn't get a good grip.
Kaminsky looking to pass it off to the mismatch, and it's volleyed up. Omaruyi gives it off to Walter, who couldn't make the reverse. Good work by Omaruyi to even get that pass. Nice feed inside and a 2-hand jam from Tyrese Samuel. Back on home soil, his first points of the game. Omaruyi pass to Kaminsky. Kick to the corner. Lawson missed it. And the rebound for Stockton, and a foul there. Omoruyi brought his hand up high to try and swipe, and that's always going to draw the ref's attention.
Always. If you're going to do it, you got to swipe from the bottom. But it's a good recognition by the 905 trying to get Omoruyi in the post. He does have the mismatch against David Stockton, and if he's on the floor, they have to take advantage of that matchup. They have the size and the depth to go ahead and do so. So whoever he's guarding or whoever the smallest guard is on the floor, even Shackelford, I mean, they could definitely take advantage. Not with this lineup for the Valley Suns. They've gone a little bit bigger to respond, but 905 need to recognize that and continue doing so. 905
have gotten a little bigger. They brought Jamison Battle in for Evan Gilliard, so expect Walter to run the point. Stanley looking for an option, flings it up, and a rebound by Lawson. Good defense from the 905. To the corner, Walter three, stuck it. 4-point lead for the 905 is their largest of the day at near the midway point of the second quarter. Paul Watson to respond. Wide left, rebound Stanley, and the former Duke Blue Devil puts it in.
It's another three-pointer. If we're looking at the time they've taken, under 6 seconds for the Valley Suns. They have no hesitation when it comes to releasing that basketball.
Step back for Lawson. And a rebound for Watson, who played over 30 games with the Raptors, most of it in the 2020-21 season. A nice save there by Lawson to get it over to Battle. Omoruyi running point. Knifes inside and scores. Big bucket there for Omoruyi, who did go scoreless in his last game. It was the first time all season he had gone scoreless. It won't happen again.
No, and he got away with a travel on that one. Took an extra step.
There's going to be a foul there called on Moses Wood, an offensive foul to give it back to the 905, and a timeout on the floor as the 905 lead by 4. High-flying action as we expected from these two teams. The Canadian Tyrese Samuel with a jam at one end, but an even bigger one from A.J. Lawson at the other, and the 905 lead by 4. A.J. Lawson having himself a big day. 11 points so far. He's gone to the rim a ton, and 905 saw this on the road trip as well. Twice led them in scoring in their 3 wins on the road. And when he is on, which is often, he can be the best scorer on the floor.
I mean, he does so many, kind of like Chomsky, does a lot of intangible things. He's great in transition. He can get to the rim. He can shoot the ball. There's so many little things well, and as he continues to learn and grow, he has such a high ceiling. I think that's why the 905 won him. Remember, he's hurt the 905 not just this season, but last year as well. Oh, yeah. And he puts on shows here. So, I mean, it's really good to see him here, homegrown talent. He'll continue to improve.
Nice turnaround there on a couple nifty passes as Caleb Johnson puts it in. And this game has been close throughout. Inside, Kennedy Chandler lobs it up to Shamshe, just a little too high, but you like the idea there as he drew the offense to one side of the floor and tossed it back to the other.
Yeah, he probed around the rim, Steve Nash-esque.
Yeah. We'll try and fit as many Steve Nash references as possible. With the Suns in town.
6 seconds or less, exactly. You kind of have to. Shout out to Steve Nash.
Shackelford bounced inside, kickball. I believe it went off the foot of Shamshay. And so the Suns get it back. Midway point of the second quarter, 9:05 up 44-42. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Warren Ward, Akil Augustine on the baseline. And Ty Washington with the basketball. 8 points in the first quarter for Washington and make it 2 more. But pardon me, 8 points now. He had 6 in the first. That's his first bucket of the second. Omarui in the post, working on Washington, strip from behind. Good help by Johnson. Omarui went for the strip back. Johnson a little out of control, goes to the rim and draws a foul. He's a little frustrated, I think, because he was kind of stumbling, couldn't finish there what was a makeable and one.
Kind of lost the ball, but Roden reached in. A good call by the referee.
Omarui out of the game, Mobo back in. Mobo does have 3 fouls right now, so that's something to monitor here in the first half. Shamshay with the arm extended, forces the deflection out of bounds by Stanley. The 9:05 will take the ball.
It's a high arcing shot by Johnson.
I mean, you'll get more bounces off the rim, I guess, but feels like there's a lot of room for error when you arc it up that high. Steal there, forced by Caleb Johnson, who's made a big impact recently. Washington lobbing a big jam for Cassius Stanley. Good basketball there by the Suns as Stanley skips back to Washington. Pretty athletic, and the Suns take the lead. 46-44 in favor of Valley. You saw them on the big screen many times. It's Kentucky up to Duke as Washington connects with Stanley to give the Suns the lead. Threes, and more threes. The Valley Suns way out in front in the G League in terms of three-pointers attempted a game. You can see only half a three is the difference between second and fifth.
Yes.
And yet over a full three-point attempt is the difference between Memphis and Valley.
And that's credit to the recognition by the coaching staff of their strength, and also just the time and era that we're in. More teams are electing to shoot more threes, and it'll keep you in a game because 3 is worth more than 2. So if you're going to take more, you make more, that is the result. But if you do miss, then you're on the other side of that. And the Valley Suns have made 17 per night, which is very impressive. Some NBA teams don't even do that.
No. Valley Suns coach John Little, first coach in franchise history, was an assistant with a very good Maine team last year. And there's going to be a foul under the hoop, and elbow gives it back to the Valley Suns. It's Battle who got charged with the foul, his first.
Suns are 9th in G League in scoring. They're 115 points a night. Raptors 905 are 12th at 113. 51 points a night come from threes for the Valley Suns.
It's a lot.
It's a
huge part of their offense.
Massive part of what the team does.
They go inside here, and Stanley misses, but the follow is good. Cassius Stanley and Caleb Johnson combining to put that one in. Here's Roden with the three, and he switches it. 905 are shooting well from deep. They're just not taking as many as the Suns. They're 5 for 11.
And Roden wants to audition for the Valley Suns with that one. He's came up the court and shot a three right away.
Washington inside. Stanley rotated to the middle. They go to the wing for three, and Shackelford missed it. A rare miss for him in this game. Roden trying to go to Mobo. Was that pass deflected? It was, says the back official, Josh Reed. So it sticks with the 905. Let's go over to Akil Augustine, who nearly got hit by that pass out of bounds.
Keep your head on a swivel at all times before the ball bends that corner. Whoa. Anyways, that one was from Warren. I just want to talk about the pace quickly. Coach Drew really wants this 905 offense to start pushing the pace. He feels like they're playing into the hands of how the Suns want to play. You see Chomche with the little English on the double pump layup. He also wants him to stop arguing. Didn't get a couple calls his way. Maybe an alley-oop or two went to the wayside. So he wants Chomche to focus on being a positive teammate and for this group to push the pace. Ben?
Thank you, Akil. Yeah, that was something that we talked about with Coach Drew before the game, because both teams work at a high pace, and he wants that to be the way that this game is played, because that's what he says the 905 do best, is get out and run.
And he's not wrong. They do. Absolutely. I think they're at their best when they're getting stops, though, and then running. It's not coming from the other team scoring. It's about getting stops and then getting out in transition and using that against the team and wearing them down. Especially a team that doesn't have a dominant shot blocker. The 905 can get inside as often as possible.
Chandler for three, got it. Tie ball game. Kennedy Chandler on the board for the first time.
Some would argue because he took the last one, you don't want to shoot another one, but that's a good shot. He's wide open, goes under. The defense goes underneath the screen. He has to take that, make the defense respect him.
They got the switch, and the Suns go inside. Chomche recovers all the way from the three-point line and blocks it off of Samuel to give the 905 the ball. He had to come all the way back from three to make that play.
He gets caught out on a switch, and Chandler leaves him in no man land. He doesn't rotate. He tries to leave Samuel. And that drop dribble right there allows Chomche the time to come back and knock the ball off Samuel as well and going the other way. So great individual play by Chomche.
Lawson knocks over Stockton, pass deflected out of bounds, and it's 905 ball. Suns thought there might have been a foul there. Referees dispelling that notion as the 905 will check it in with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Pass deflected, and it bounced on the sideline. That's good news for the 905, because Stockton easily had a steal if it did. Worth noting, while his dad John was known most for passing, he's also the NBA all-time leader in steals.
I was about to say, he's also a master of the theft.
They go into Mobo again, deflected. It goes back to Lawson, and he extends to lay it in with the right. Looked like Stretch Armstrong there as he reached out and flicked it off the window. Corner three, wide open, Jalen Bridges, and it's a lead again for the Suns.
That's their 9th three, so right on pace to get to that 51-point mark.
27 points off threes right now for the Suns.
Okay, better. You got a little math like that.
I got my times tables down.
Yeah, you got a timetable. Better than Akil, that's for sure.
Lawson inside. Tried to bounce to Chomche. He was swarmed, though. It was deflected, and Shackelford has the steal. Cross court. Washington quick three.
And there's 10.
Quick make.
I think that's up to 30 if
that
my
is
math
30.
is correct, right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
carry the
right
one,
on
the 3 times the...
You're confusing me, but it's 30. You got it. And a 4-point advantage for the Suns. Mobo cuts inside, frees up space for Walter to get the pass. Now Battle on the baseline has some room. They get it to him, and he flicks it with the left. Nice feed by Walter.
It's a high-scoring first half, almost at 60 points already, but great play again. Patience by the 905, using up that shot clock. Jacoby Walter, after Battle set the screen for him, giving up that ball.
Washington a little out of sorts there. Almost stopped on a dime and turned it over. 905 somehow get that off the count. And Walter with the three. I don't know if Battle gets an assist.
Battle gets an assist for that.
Was thrown off his leg.
He should get an assist for that.
Count it all the same. 905 with 5 straight points to take the lead back. And what's been a really entertaining first half, 14 lead changes. A minute to go. Washington, Euro, lefty, floater off the window and in.
Tough by Ty Washington. Euro step into the left hand off glass. That's tough.
Shamshay inside, a little far away from the hoop, gives it up to Lawson. Battle in isolation. Zips it to Mobo. Open for three. Got it for three.
Battle with two nice assists, one off the leg, showing a little bit of handle as well. That he can put that ball on the floor. He's been working on that, and then find Jonathan Mobo in the corner. 9:05 with a 2-point lead. This is a high-scoring game.
They're sticking right there with the Suns in terms of three-point shooting. 8 for 15 are the 9:05.
124 points already.
Pick and roll and a strong finish there by Samuel with the left. Tie game with 10 seconds to go in the half. The 9:05 will hold for the final shot. Suns double. Walters got to give it up. Sends it all the way to the rim and a little too far. It goes off the backboard. Poke away by Battle. A good job to prevent the Suns from putting up a shot. And the half will end tied. 16 lead changes. 18 made threes total, and a lot of entertainment, Warren.
Great first half. I mean, you can't ask for that. You can't ask for more if you're a fan. I mean, these teams put on a show. They got under them. They made shots. Both teams shooting the ball well. Over 50% for both teams. So not a lot of defense, a whole lot of offense.
Leading scorer for the 9:05 is A.J. Lawson, and he's with Akil Augustine right now.
Thank you very much, Ben. AJ, leading scorer right now. Coach was talking a lot about pace. How did you guys adjust there towards the end of the second quarter?
Always got to keep running, defending, and then when we get the rebounds, push. That's what we do. Get out, make the right passes, make the right plays.
Speaking of defense, Ulrich Shamshay is really changing things in the back line. How does he change how you guys are able to pressure up on the three-point line?
He's doing incredible, man. He's guarding all positions. We're switching 1 through 5 with him on the court. I mean, he's a beast down there. They got to go through him.
All right, and they're going to go through you, too. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, bro.
All right, we are heading to break. The 9:05 knotted up at 62 apiece with the Valley Suns. Second half and more from my guys Ben and Warren when we return. Recently, the Raptors 905 made a team visit to the Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital to meet some of the very special guests and patients. Here's a look back at the day.
Hi, my name is Nathan Gabba, and I work as Officer of Partnerships here at Holland Bloorview. And today we're just beyond thrilled and excited to have the Raptors 905 come in and visit us today, visit some of the kids at bedside, and even come downstairs for a demo with the kids to play some wheelchair basketball. And it's just a really great way to start off the new year. I feel like it means the world to them. Like, it's so amazing for me to have the chance to work on the foundation and to see how happy the kids get, to have the chance to really just speak with the athletes and see kids be kids, you know, because there are often times at Holland Bloorview where kids might be going through some challenging times. So to have the time to kind of just relax and have some fun is really exciting and extremely valued here.
.905 and Valley Suns in an entertaining game, 62 apiece at half. We appreciate you tuning into this one. Welcome back to the Paramount Fine Food Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Warren Ward. A ton of scoring. We got to talk about the scores in this game. We'll start on the 905 side with their leading scorer. Canadian A.J. Lawson has been all over this game.
Yeah, he has, and he's doing it the right way. He came off the bench, leading this team in scoring, as we can see, with 13 points, but it's the way he's doing it. He's getting to the rim, attacking gaps, finding his teammates when necessary, but he's not forcing the issue. Sometimes he can fall in love with his jump shot, but when he attacks the rim first, and does that second, good things happen, and we know he can do this. Once he gets a little bit of space to get to the rim, there's no stopping him from taking off, and it's a wonderful sight to see.
On the other side, though, the Suns have scored at a very high clip as well, and that really falls on the shoulders of their point guard, David Stockton, who's impacted the game from multiple levels, too.
Absolutely, and for someone who's a bit undersized at that position, he makes up for it with his craftiness, his intelligence, and we know he can shoot that ball from deep. That obviously runs in his blood, clearly, but he has been able to make plays and get guys involved. Quietly has 5 assists already, but this is what I love most about his game, that silky smooth craftiness. He got to battle's hip, and he can get right to the rim and uses his length to extend and get to the basket. So he's a full package, very, very high IQ basketball player, and we've seen that on full display right now.
Even 4 rebounds for David Stockton,
Absolutely.
who's often the smallest guy on the floor. The biggest guy on the floor most of the time is Ulrich Shamshe, and he might have a chance at another double-double.
And he's in alignment, 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks. And one of them in particular we're going to get to, and I want to explain the improvement we can see on film right away. Right here, call overturned, great block, no body contact. There, when Stockton stopped and tried to up-fake Chomchi before, he probably would have jumped at that attempt. Now he has the patience to understand not to do that, and we've seen the added bonus with his offensive ability, but here is where he's most valuable. Blocking shots, knocking it off the offensive player, and giving the 905 another possession. Intangible plays, high IQ plays, and he's learning and applying.
It was about as entertaining of a first half as we'd had all season, and we are really looking forward to the second. 62-62 is the score. Lots of high-flying action and big three-point shots. Stick around. We have the final 24 minutes of this one when we return from Mississauga on NBA TV Canada.
We're about to tip off the second half in a tie game between the Valley Suns and the 905. We have the pleasure of being joined by assistant coach Gray. Coach, let's talk about the fact that you guys have a wealth of talent playing down with the club today, but AJ Lawson, the Canadian kid, whose role kind of changes depending on who's here. How impressive it is that he's able to still come out and play composed basketball for your club in this situation.
Yeah, ultimately right now we have a deep roster. We just need everybody to play their role, and he's been great. He's kept a positive attitude, and he came ready off the bench. I mean, he has 13 points, and we're encouraging him to continue to be aggressive in the second half.
A wealth off the bench today. Ulrich comes off the bench, and he's really changed your defense. Talk about how he changes things for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, big-time shot blocker. I mean, he's top of the G League right now in blocking shots, so we're just encouraging him to continue to contest shots at a high level.
All right, thank you, Matt. Get back and have a great second half. Ben, it's all yours.
Thank you, Akil. Thank you, Coach Gray. We'll take a look at what went down in the first half. 62-62 the score. And if you like three-point shooting, you like the first half because the teams combined to shoot 50% on 36 threes.
And 18 made as well. So both teams shooting well. And I don't want to say that they're not defending. I think they're trying to defend. But, again, good offense will beat good defense any day.
Starters back out onto the floor for the 905. Frank Kaminsky over top the defense. Mobo passes out of the double, and Gilliard hits the three. And the 905 above 50%, 9 for 17 from
Guess we're picking up right where we left off in the first half, just knocking down threes.
Ty Washington, 13 points to lead the Suns in the first half, including 3 triples. Surprised he passed up a chance at a three there, although he's got the mismatch now. Drives on Kaminsky. Floated it a little bit short, but a rebound for Samuel. He's going to attack Kaminsky again. Has Washington in the corner. Mobo with the help block to Moore.
Got a mismatch here.
Double coming. Mobo handles the pass. Still being doubled. His headband knocked off. Walter cornered three. And a rebound, Samuel. Numbers right now for the Suns. Samuel missed the shot. Good contest without fouling by Kaminsky. Gilliard with no support. Drives in, has it poked away, and loses it out of bounds. The situation there where perhaps slowing up would have benefited the 905 because 5 Suns were back on defense and only Gilliard had crossed half.
The one-man fast break is what he is, Gilliard.
High screen, gets an open three for Stockton, and he connects. They screened twice to make sure he was open.
Good offensive set, and I think that's what they're looking for is that first option is that three. And Gilliard has the option to make them pay as well because they're going underneath him when he's shooting threes when he gets a ball screen.
Mobo continuing to have some headband issues, by the way, as Kaminsky gives it off to Walter. Open three for Gilliard. And it just rims out at the end of the shot clock. Washington step back, a little off balance, and a rebound Battle. Jamison Battle with all these threes in the game hasn't even attempted one yet. They go inside to Mobo spinning around, trying to keep the possession alive. Rebound ripped down by Stockton. Inside, Samuel left alone. Kaminsky was helping in the corner. No one picked up his man, and the Suns are up by 2.
Mobo unfortunately keeps losing his headband, and their 905 had to play 4-on-5 on that possession. Or 5-on-4, excuse me.
Mobo tying it in the corner, has it set up now as Kaminsky initiates. Nice cut, Walter. Good pass, Kaminsky, but the layup no good. Washington fakes to the corner and now gives it the opposite way to Wood, who had to save it. Right back to Walter. 3-on-1, 905. Battle. Kaminsky. Righty layup good.
Great job executing in transition off that turnover. Giving it to the trailing Kaminsky for a layup. All tied at 67.
Stockton deep three.
905 continue to go underneath that high ball screen. I think they're going to have to start going over top because Stockton is in a groove.
Yeah, I think it's a guard him past half at this point kind of situation.
And I think if I'm the Valley Suns, I'm running the same set to get him a high ball screen and allow him to make a decision.
Kaminsky thought he was fouled there after faking up his defender. No call. Samuel in transition draws a foul as Walter swiped down on him to prevent the easy layup.
And right there on that left arm, swiping across the ball, Jacoby Walter with the foul.
A.J. Lawson's going to come into the game, leading scorer for the 905. Evan Gilliard goes out, so the 905 have a little more height now, and maybe they start to go back inside a little bit more often, too.
Well, with Stockton on the floor, that would definitely be the smartest thing to do. They're going to have a mismatch with at some position at the guard, and if he's guarding A.J. Lawson, which he is right now, that'd be the person I want to go into the post to keep Kaminsky on the perimeter so that they definitely don't have rim protection.
They get a switch with Walter guarded by Samuel. Kaminsky has a mismatch inside right now if they want it. Battle had it poked out of his hands, out of bounds. 905 have only 3 to shoot as they check it in. Into Lawson quickly, pull up 3. And it's off the side of the rim, although they caught the Suns sleeping a little bit there with the quick inbound.
They didn't take full advantage, or necessary advantage, of the mismatches that they had available to them.
Washington with a hard fall onto the floor, by the way, and he looks a little ginger getting up. Suns even smaller now, by the way, as Caleb Johnson comes in for Tyrese Samuel. So if you're going to exploit size, this is the time to do it for the 905. Johnson hands back to Stockton. They have a switch now. Kaminsky is guarding Stockton if they get it back to him. It's Bridges driving. Follow a 3 Washington. And a long rebound that is picked up by the Suns. Really good play by Bridges. Wood left open in the scramble. And the 905 secure this one. Credit though to Bridges getting on the floor and swiping it to a teammate. And there's some miscommunication. Battle thought he was cutting to the hoop. Kaminsky thought it was a V cut and he was coming back.
You hear Coach Drew telling his team to wake up. Gotta start making smarter plays offensively, especially with this lineup in for Valley. I mean, they have the size advantage. They got to find a way to take advantage.
Speaking of size, Aldous Shamshay, Gino Marui are going to check in at the next stoppage. Good deflection there by Mobo, and he knocked it off of Bridges. That's 905 ball in the front court. Here comes Shamshay and Omaruyi. Kaminsky is going to be out of the game, as is Mobo. Now you have 2 guys in Shamshay and Omaruyi who do the majority of their damage offensively in the post.
Clear adjustment to the game plan of what they're trying to execute, and getting Shamshay in the game is also giving them rim protection so they can be a bit more aggressive defensively.
They want to get it to Omaruyi. Nice catch and finish through a lot of contact from Bridges. He nearly blocked that away, instead he kind of blocked it in.
That's the first high-low we've seen 905 run all game, and it's the correct thing to do with this lineup on the floor. Great pass by Shamshay.
Turnaround by Wood. A rebound for Lawson.
2 stops in a row now.
Omaruyi for 3.
There you go.
And it rattles home.
That's good basketball for the 905. They're getting stops 2 in a row now on one end, and offensively inside out.
It's a 5-0 Omaruyi run all alone. Washington attacking him. Good defense not to foul. And an air ball gives it to the 905 again. Back inside to Shamshay. Turnaround hook. Off the window, too strong. Stockton going inside, and he scores over Omaruyi and Shamshay. What a day he's having. 19 points now.
6 assists, 5 rebounds. Stat stuffing.
Walter left open for 3, and why not? They let him walk right up to the line. He gives the 905 the advantage again. Pass over the top. Good rotation by Walter, and that's going to force a turnover. He came in to disrupt Johnson, and Johnson couldn't handle it as he tried to pass to the corner. That's going to be a timeout for the Suns. Back and forth we go. 9:05 with a slim lead right now because Jacoby Walter was left wide open. It's 75-72 in Mississauga on NBA TV Canada.
Earlier this season, when the Valley Suns arrived in the G League, it became official. The NBA has an affiliate team for each and every organization. Now I know what you're thinking. The Suns had a G League team. Well, actually, that team became the Motor City team, and they stopped playing in Phoenix right about COVID. So, this brand new Suns team, which is a fan name, Ben and Warren, if you're about to question the creativity of the Arizona community out in Tempe, are the latest and hopefully the recipients of a loss for our 905. Ben, Warren?
Thank you, Gil. Yeah, I'm not going to start a fight with the Arizonites anyway. I'm happy with what they chose. And it is cool now to see every team in the NBA represented. When the North Arizona Suns existed, there were other teams that did not have a G League affiliate. If you're wondering how that works, that means that the Suns would send players to another team's G League team, like in previous years, the Rip City Remix, the Portland team, would have Suns rookies or two-ways on their team. Now the Suns get to have much more control in what goes on with their players. Dump off to Shamshay, and the push shot good. Over Shamshay up to 6 points and 6 rebounds, not to mention his 4 blocks. 9:05 with their largest lead of the game, up by 7 right now. Shackelford to Washington. Paint is empty. Washington drives in and gives it off, and a nice block there inside. Believe Omarui took it away as Johnson was swatted. Chandler for 3. And Shamshay on the follow.
Shamshay running first, big. Omarui taking a page out of Chamshi's book, the book of how to block shots, knocking that ball out, and then Chamshay, the recipient of just good heart and energy as he runs down the floor and gets a putback dunk. Good basketball.
Another timeout for the Suns, the 9:05 with another largest lead. They're up by 9, thanks to the inside play of Ulrich Shamshay.
All right, left side, let's hear you.
Ulrich Shamshe threatening another double-double here as she continues to make a big impact in limited minutes. All of those stats piled up in 17 minutes.
He just continues to improve, and he's playing the right way, and that's why you're seeing the results. And I mean, he looked very rusty offensively when he first started playing in the tip-off portion of the season, and now we've seen the hard work pay off for Ulrich Shamshe.
He was doing a lot of fighting defensively there in case of a screen. Great defense overall from the 905, who forced another turnover. 11th on the Suns, 12 on the day for the 905.
You see his confidence. He looks like he belongs out on the floor, and he continues to improve.
905 trying to get it to 10 for the first time today. Neither team has led by double digits. Lawson attacking. Shamshe had a hand on the board, still fighting for it, and it's poked back to Lawson. Omaruyi, sidestep three, and might have been blocked. It's short and a rebound for Stanley. He's going right at Shamshe, missed it. Johnson missed the follow. Another fight for a rebound. This time the Suns get it. Watson three, no good, and a loose ball foul. Give some credit to Stanley and Johnson, who were scrapping under the hoop. They draw a foul there to keep it with the Suns.
You know, that foul was on Chandler. Chandler trying to hold his position against Cassius Stanley.
And he's fighting an uphill battle there, Stanley, with some good size for a guard.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Over Chandler for sure. Basically what happens when me and Akil play one-on-one. That's pretty much the same outcome.
Shackelford, deep three. Rebound, Roden, good contest, Shamshe. Trying to go inside to Shamshe, and the pass deflected there by Shackelford. Just reached an arm around to poke it away. Stanley, though, turns it over. Battle in transition. Over to Roden. Back to Battle. And the pass too hot and a little too high maybe for Chandler.
But there's Mobile again being effective defensively, getting those hands up, those arms in passing lanes. He's knocking the ball away. I know 905 didn't capitalize offensively, but those are the things that won't show up on a stat sheet that are attributing to the 905 winning at this moment.
What is showing up is Valley scored over 30 or more in the first two quarters. They have 10 points in the third quarter overall right now, 10 minutes into the quarter.
Yeah, stifling 905 defense.
And that's going to be an offensive foul as Samuel just kind of grabbed hold of Shamshe and dragged him to the hoop. And it looks like the Suns want to challenge it. I thought it looked like a pretty clear moving screen or grab.
Yeah.
But John Little is going to challenge here the foul call, the offensive foul against Tyrese Samuel.
We'll see the result of this one, but it's interesting. He's really definitely arguing. Yeah, he's arguing the push, but I think it's a moving screen either way.
So it's 0-0 in white that we're concerned with.
The first one set, he rolls. Chandler's trying to hold up position.
And he's just kind of locked in there. I mean, there's not a ton.
I mean, there's not. I think what he sees here is Shamshe pushing Samuel a little bit more into. So he's tagging Shamshe, and he's pushing Samuel into Chandler. So Chandler does not get around the screen. So it could be a no call.
Could be a no call. Now, you do look at the same time, that left hand is fully grabbing Kennedy Chandler's arm. And now this is, where you get into the
technicalities
minute
of
detail
of basketball. I mean, arguably Chandler should be doing a better job trying to get around the screen, and maybe that way he could sell the foul as a push, but
the referees are getting through the results right now. So they have confirmed the call, and it was that grab on the arm that they were looking at.
You called it.
That it's tough to overturn, even though I agree with you. When a guy has his full hand around an arm, and you're trying to say 100% he didn't foul, that would be a foul by the letter of the law.
They're right there as he grabs. So Chandler can't do much.
And so because of that, the 905 get another stop. They get the basketball back up 9 with 2:13 to go. For Tyrese Samuel, that was his second, by the way.
Valley Suns turn the ball over 13 times a game. They're right on that average now.
Kennedy Chandler with a bucket, and for the first time in this game, a team leads by 10 or more. 905 up by 11. 2 minutes to go in the third. Stockton heaves it over to Samuel and gets it back. Shackelford inside, switched hands on the way and found the hole to make it a 9-point game.
Talented scorer Shackelford is. He can get with either hand, very creative.
17 a game off the bench for the Suns team. And an offensive foul. Shamshay is going to get caught there.
We'll also give Shackelford a daytime Emmy for selling that one a bit.
Seemed like Drew Jones clapping his way back wasn't too bad with
No.
it. He has said in the past he wants his team to be physical.
Yes.
And if they do happen to pick up some fouls because of that, that's something they live with. Stockton for three. Good. They've run that play a couple times this half, and it works. 2 screens and an open three.
It's like a high, basically a staggered screen, but the 905 are making the mistake of going underneath it. You can't do that with Stockton. He's too good of a shooter, and it doesn't matter if he goes right or left. But it seems to favor going to his right hand. It's a well-executed, well-drawn up and well-executed play. He's getting an open shot. I mean, he's done that at least 3 times.
That's why he's got 22 points on 10 field goal attempts. He's 6 for 7 from 3. Jonathan Mobo, meanwhile, drew a foul from Jalen Bridges, so Mobo will head to the line. Short. Chomshay tipped the rebound around, and he spills to the floor with Bridges. 4-on-4 for a moment, and Shackelford's going to release the 3. No good. Stockton gets it back. They're going back to Shackelford. He'll hoist it up again, and he hits. These are off-balance threes from far away, and yet he's putting them in.
That's the first one was audacious. The second one, that was a tough shot.
With Shamshay right on him.
Doesn't matter.
Wow. Battle inside with the lefty lay-in, but the Suns have made this much more of a game again.
Well, and you do that because, again, 3 is worth more than 2. So, you know, 10-point lead, you hit 2 threes, down to 4, you know, right away.
Shackelford looked like he wanted another. He's got Stockton in the corner, but he was stripped, and Battle picks up the steal. Ahead to Roden. He can fly, and he will.
It's the Rowe Show. Showtime Roden.
14 points for Jared Roden in the game. He hasn't missed a shot yet.
A quiet 14 as well.
A lot around the rim. Inside Samuel, blocked by Shamshay, but Chandler is going to get called for the blocking foul. I believe he was in the restricted area when he and Samuel collided.
How about that pocket pass by Stockton? Yeah, his feet were moving. Oh.
And Shamshay almost landed on Chandler there, but he's up and feeling good. But yeah, the feet were moving, and as they moved, the left foot went into the restricted area. No harm, no foul, though, for the 905. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Chandler races to the hoop and puts it in. 94 feet in a flash, and it's 89-80 for the 905 after 3 quarters.
What a finish by Kennedy Chandler. I honestly believe he's one of the best finishers in the G League. He goes end-to-end, 94 feet, and finishes out on the right side. It ends up in the cameraman's lap, giving the 905 a 9-point lead.
Good news is everyone's okay, and the 905 are up by 9. The Suns really stagnated offensively in the third quarter. 905 outscored them 27-18. Fourth quarter coming up. 14 points for Jared Roden, helping the 905 right now to an 89-80 advantage over the Valley Suns. Welcome back to Mississauga. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Warren Ward. Akil Augustine on the baseline. Paul Watson bounces to Tyrese Samuel, and the Canadian puts it home to make it a 7-point game.
Great executed pick and roll, left side of the floor, going straight to the basket. The gap lane to attack.
Somehow Kennedy Chandler putting that in way off balance with some contact, but he can score in about a million ways.
Best finisher in G League.
Stockton deep three, no good, but he's hit from out there already. And here's Roden. Perfect 6 of 6 from the field, including a couple of threes. And Kaminsky there with the offensive foul. He was kind of trying to screen with the ball to give Battle a chance to cut to the hoop, but a little too blatant there, sticking out the hip.
Coach Drew in a bit of disbelief, but that is the correct call.
High screen for Stockton, lob up for Samuel, and a kick out. Watson wide open. Roden with a nice rebound, skying over Stockton.
He has 14 points in 12 minutes. He's played the least on of any player in the 905, and still up there and scoring. Make that now 17 points for Jared Roden in 13 minutes.
He is the 905's leading scorer. He also has 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Helps when you haven't missed a shot. Stockton going under the hoop, couldn't finish. Kaminsky with the rebound. Some size mismatches again for the 905, including Omoruyi, guarded by Stockton. Spins on him and is either blocked away or just shot that one a little bit too long with Wood contested. Inside Samuel, runs over Kaminsky, and it's an offensive foul.
That's what we talk about. It's a great example of someone. Kaminsky knows he's not the most vertical player, but this is what he can do. Get in position at the right time.
They are challenging, and it's debatable whether Kaminsky was in the restricted area. What do you see over here? Actually, we will take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll have the results of that block charge review on NBA TV Canada. Referees still taking a look at this block charge review. If you weren't with us before the break, this play was called a charge against Tyrese Samuel, but a challenge from the Suns. And what do you see here, Warren?
Well, Frank Kaminsky's not the most vertical player, but this is what he does do well. He gets in position, and I don't think the call will be overturned because his right foot is not, it's inside the circle, but it's also above it. He's not touching anything inside the circle. Your both feet have to be inside that restricted area. So I do think it's the correct call. I think it's an offensive foul.
Referees have spent a while on this one, though. They're now deliberating possibly about possession and where the ball is taken with the ramifications of their call.
Let's see if we're right.
905 have won a challenge today, and the Suns have lost one. So all the reviews have actually gone to the home side so far. Will that streak continue for a third review, or will it change? We're about to find out in a second here.
Oh.
So they are overturning it and calling an offensive foul.
Interesting.
So not about, so you were right, he wasn't in the restricted
Exactly.
area, but the referee explained to us that Wood, who was kind of, or not Wood, Samuel, who's kind of airborne, wasn't given the opportunity to come down with the ball. So they're not calling it a shooting foul, by the way, because it's more about the receive and setting his feet. Instead, it'll go side out of bounds because Wood didn't have a chance to, or not Wood, Samuel didn't have a chance to settle himself before doing something with the ball. So Kaminsky's second foul, and the Suns check it in, down by 12 to the 905. Mid-range for Washington, no good. He's been quiet in the second half, stuck on 13 points. High pressure from Stockton. And Kaminsky now driving in. Lob to Omaruyi, and he scores. They had a switch. Stockton was on him, and they exploited it.
Exactly. Just about to say that. Good recognition by Kaminsky to see where the mismatch is. Ooh. Roden had a steal there. That's perfect.
That's going to be a travel as Paul Watson passed it to himself. A miscommunication as he tried to throw that pass. 905 almost got a steal. Instead, it's still a turnover.
905 have picked up their defense in the second half for sure, and they've weathered the hot sun.
Only 20 points in this half total for Valley. Walter, deep two, swish.
He was working on that exact move or situation in warm-up prior to the game. In pregame, he came off that screen and had to get to a pull-up and make a decision. So it's good to see him reaping the benefits of exactly what he was doing in the warm-up.
Foul committed by Walter, who got tangled up there with Samuel on the pick and roll. Walter upset with the call. Battle's going to check out. Lawson checks in. One thing I'm wondering now, as we take another look at the foul, 9:05, Drew Jones said they wanted to play fast, even though the Suns do because of their style. But he said if we get a big lead, that could change. We might want to be more deliberate. Do the 905 slow it down here, or is there still too much time, and do they keep playing at that fast pace?
I think it's too much time. They have to just continue to play as they have been. It's not time to take anything off the gas yet. The game is not won. I think you slow things down when you have absolute control, and this Valley Suns team is good enough to come back. So you don't want to relax. You just want to keep playing the same style.
Nice save there by Lawson. No look behind the back to Roden, and Lawson with a baseline cut, but he can't finish. Good feed from Roden either way. Two men pick up Stockton. And back to Stockton in the corner. Washington can't get rid of Lawson, and that pass was too soft and too far. It's a turnover. Walter will tell you a couple times it's 9:05 ball.
Again, that's great rotation. You have Shackelford in the corner jabbing, no room to get that shot off. He gives it up to Stockton. They have to switch the ball from the right side of the floor all the way over to the left side, and they get nothing out of it. It's good defense with the 905.
Crowd is loud right now in big minutes in the fourth quarter. Omaruyi to the rim, and just sealed off there by Samuel. Ball will stay with the Suns as that one goes out of bounds. Jonathan Mobo back into the game. Omaruyi is out. So you have Lawson, Walter, Roden, Mobo, and Shamshay on the floor. This has been the really solid defensive lineup for the 905. Switch, and Shamshay has to guard Washington, and he scores a floater. He might have thought he was fouled, too.
That's a good move. Great combo move. tween dribble by Ty Washington. Very quick, very springy, and then gets to a tough floater. It's not easy.
The other way, a little more deliberate from Jacoby Walter, but he's up to 17. Stanley knocked over. I believe that's going to go against Mobo, which if it is, it's his fourth. Although with 7.5 minutes remaining, you could live with that. And actually, they give it to Roden, so it's just
we could discuss Jacoby Walter's offensive ability on that last possession. We see some of that, but I think defensively, he really guards. He really does a good job guarding. It's not easy to guard Ty Washington, as we both know.
He's drawn the toughest assignment. Shackelford draws a foul, though, on the three. I believe Roden flew out at him. No, they're going to... Yes, they are going to say Roden. So that's a foul you don't want to commit. Now a free throw worth 3 points coming here for Shackelford.
Doesn't get to the line too often. You know, less than 2 attempts a game for Shackelford, but when he does, he converts.
When you live out by the three, you're not going to be at the line too often, but you'll take those 3-point free throws for sure. Walter steps into a three, and he hits it. What a big day he's had.
Big shot as well. 905 kind of needed that.
20 points now for Walter. He leads the 905 in scoring, including 4 threes. Stanley lost it going inside, and a foul called against Walter. He wants the 905 to challenge. But with the challenge, you got to think about when you're going to do it too. I'm not sure that this would be the situation the 905 want to use it. They're not going to challenge.
Not going to challenge.
And Stanley will go to the line.
Because regardless of who the foul was called on, it is still a foul. So they're going to lose the timeout.
Free throw miss, and the board with Mobo. No, it's ripped away. Bridges has it. And a whistle. The clock reset, the shot clock, I should say, to a full 24 when it shouldn't have, because the referees are deeming that the 905 didn't have possession, so it should have gone to 14. It's now at 12 as they inbound it into Samuel. Shackelford, another tough three, and another offensive board. Shackelford again, why not? Because he's going to do that again, and it's an 11-point game. He's got no fear.
None. And no conscience. 21 points now for him. 4 for 9 from deep. We talked about that.
And maybe 7 of those 9 attempts, no one else is allowed to take, but he takes them.
No one else can make those.
Yeah.
Tough shots.
Lawson steps into his three. Nice feed from Shamshay on the assist. And the 905 back up 14 halfway through the fourth quarter. Stanley. And the follow no good by Samuel. I think Shamshay took a hand or an elbow to the face, but he appears to be okay. Roden's going to let Walter initiate. No, it's going back to Roden. Now Lawson drives inside, high off the window, tipped by Shamshay, offensive board. Roden open on the rotation. And that's his first missed shot of the day, maybe his most open one.
That's probably why he missed.
Bridges the other way, swish. Man, these guys can shoot.
And both teams, a barrage of threes. 905 are not too far behind. I mean, Valley has 34 attempts compared to the 905 at 28.
And the 905 shooting a better percentage from three in the game. Roden inside, hits the turnaround. Timeout Suns, Roden with 19, and the 905 up by 13. 108-95 as these two teams continue to just pour it in the hoop. The 905 have the advantage, though, with 5 minutes to go in what could be a big win. Still a lot to be decided, though. We'll be back in a moment on NBA TV Canada. 19th overall pick Jacoby Walter led the 905 in scoring in their last game, and he's doing it again so far today. Not just scoring, though. He's been a big contributor in really all facets.
And efficiently as well. I mean, he has 7 for 15 in the game and 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. So doing it on both ends of the floor, and 2 steals just to add to that to complement his defensive ability. But I love the fact that he's able to take on one of this Valley Suns team's best guards and pick them up chest to chest almost every single possession.
He gets switched off Washington in a deflection for Lawson, but it's last touch Suns, so it's 905 ball as they force the Suns into a 16th turnover.
Valley does a pretty good job taking care of the ball in the regular season, but 905 have been able to stifle them and stop them from scoring. I mean, they have 15 points in the quarter, 18 in that third, and that's been the difference maker thus far. 905 with 27 in that quarter.
If you look at regular season and tip-off tourney, the Suns have the best assist to turnover ratio of any team in the G League. Almost 2 assists per turnover, and they're barely above 1 assist per turnover today.
You got to give credit to the 905's defense and the fact that they've pressured them into making mistakes that are a little bit uncharacteristic. And we've seen, as you said, 2-to-1 ratio, not something they've done a whole lot of. And with David Stockton at the helm, it makes sense. I mean, he's very steady with the basketball, including Ty Washington. But today, the 905 have been able to call their number and get into them physically.
Here is David Stockton after the high screen is switched. Shackelford 3, why not? 24 for Shackelford on 5 3-pointers made.
He's really come off the bench and done a lot of damage.
He's the leading scorer in the game right now. Lawson a big impact off the bench as well. Slips though and bounces it outside to keep the possession alive. Battle fouled. And that's one that John Little, head coach of the Suns, is probably not going to love. A late in the shot clock foul on a guy who doesn't drive all the time.
That's a tough one. Again, you're gonna lose some hair with that one. AJ Lawson slips, gives the ball to Battle, and then right there, just lazy reaching in by Shackelford. You gotta slide your feet.
It's 905 at 14 to work with now. They tried to go back to Battle, but Shamshay's pass had a little too much zip on it. Suns take it back. Down by 12, just under 4 minutes to go. They get a switch, and Shackelford is rolling around. Stockton's going to drive on Mobo. Kick out. Back to Stockton. Trying to get some separation from Mobo, and does to hit over the outstretched arm of Mobo. It's a 9-point game.
Talking about taking your time earlier, this would be the time I slow the game down. I want to use up as much of that clock as I can because we have the advantage. Whereas Valley now has to rush, and you have to find a way to score now.
Lawson runs into his defender, no call there, and he scores.
You got to keep on scoring.
On the other side, Valley probably will play even quicker than they would before as they go inside to Wood. Beautiful pass from Stockton.
That was a dime pass by Stockton. Wow, right on the money.
His 9th assist of the game. He's approaching a double-double and has the game-high 25 points. Shamshay inside. Blocked away, and the Suns pick it up. Great defense by Bridges. Stockton deep three. He got it. 28 points for David Stockton. And welcome back to the game, Valley Suns. It's a 6-point game with 2.5 minutes to go.
They've extended their defense to full court pressure. The 905 don't look that comfortable in their offense once they break the press, and I think that's been an advantage for Valley in the last 2 minutes.
Mobo on a nice feed from Battle. Tried to put it inside to Shamshay, and it was picked off. Bridges ahead. Wood deep three. And he's stuck it. 3-point game with 2 minutes to go. 905 only have 1 timeout left, so they don't use it here. As Lawson Knight's inside and is fouled. And he wants the basket to count as well. I don't think he'll get that. I think that Wood blocked it before it was a goaltend, but it will be 2 free throws coming up for A.J. Lawson.
Some reinforcements coming now as Kaminsky's about to check back in the game for Chomchi. Valley has just put together a very impressive run, very fast. Just like that, we were in a flurried 12-point lead. It looked like it was smooth sailing for the 905, and then Valley said no, not so fast.
Threes and more threes.
and a whole lot of David Stockton as well. He's the one who initiated the press. Coach Don Little saying, pick up, full court.
Stockton and Wood together engineered an 8-0 run. Stockton hit a 3, then he fed Wood under the hoop, and then Wood hit a deep 3. But Lawson stopped that with the made free throw. Kaminsky is in the game. Shamshay is out. Wonder if there's a little offense-defense there potentially as the game keeps going. We'll have to wait and see.
Lawson able to convert to extend the lead, but 905 have to execute both defensively and offensively more than ever.
Oh, and there's a late whistle. It's going to go against the 905. Now the 905 have their challenge, but again, they only have one timeout. Do you want to risk something when it could stop your ability to call a timeout for the rest of the game? I think the answer is probably not.
That's a very tough call. I would not do that. I would. You need the timeout just in case anything happens.
Kennedy Chandler is about to come into the game for A.J. Lawson, by the way. Jacoby Walter picked up the foul. It's his 5th. There's not a lot of time left, but if he fouls again, he's out. And Washington hits the free throw. So it's Chandler, Kaminsky, Battle, Mobo, and Walter on the floor for the 905. Bridges, Wood, Washington, Stockton, Shackelford for the Suns. And that's a big miss on the free throw. That keeps it at a 2-possession game rather than a 1-possession game. 90 seconds remain. Walter and Chandler both kind of playing point guard here, and Kaminsky can run the offense too. Looking for a switch here. Chandler around the screen. Left open for 3. Mobo left it short. Rebound Shackelford. Washington speeds ahead and scores. 2-point ball game with just over a minute to go.
It's hard to stop Ty Washington in transition. He knows he got that ball. Quick Euro, left, right, right-handed extended finish.
Walter has to give it up. Under a minute to go in this game. They have Kaminsky underneath, but they didn't get it to him. But a big three
by Battle.
First time he's put one up today, and he hits to make it a 5-point lead. The other way, Washington forced it up and missed, and the 905 will now want to kill about 20 seconds if they can. The Suns know it. They'll foul. I think we were both looking inside, and Jamison Battle said, guys, 3 is worth more than 2. And he pulled off this huge shot.
They run a high ball screen, and then Battle is the pop guy. He set the back screen for Kaminsky. Kaminsky goes to the rim. They take all the attention off of him, and he hasn't shot any threes today as of yet, and knocks down the biggest one of the game that could arguably give the 905 a well-deserved win here.
Now that free throw miss is somewhat significant, though, we should say, because if both free throws were made, it would be a 7-point lead in the 3-possession game. With Walter missing this first one now, if he makes it, it's still a 6-point game. And 2 threes, if you're opportunistic, can get you back into it. We'll see what the Suns do here. You have to imagine they're going to put something up from 3.
And do it before the 24-second mark so that they can get the ball back and foul. Absolutely.
Timeout, Suns. We will be back in just a moment. 118, 112, 905. 35 seconds left. Jamison battles monumental three-point shot, has the 905 up by 6 with 35 seconds to go. But still, anything can happen. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Warren Ward. 905 leading the Valley Suns 118-112 with 35 seconds remaining. And the Suns hard charging here to steal away a win after they trailed by double digits much of the fourth. Wood into Shackelford, turnaround three block. 905 down with the rebound, but the Suns get it back. They go outside the arc. Shackelford again. And a rebound for Battle. They get it to a corner for Lawson. And a foul committed right away.
Good defense by the 905. I think well drawn up, executed play by Valley, but 905 are right there and they read it and able to get a good block on the first attempt, and you live with the second because Shackelford, that almost went in.
Oh, yeah. Well, you pretty much know he's going to put it up.
Absolutely.
So Rodin was just ready for it.
They ran a lot of decoys. They ran Stockton off of a screen. They ran Ty Washington off of a screen and tried to get Shackelford on that baseline. Usually most people aren't looking, so smart play, but 905 were there and covered every possible option.
That first free throw, very important that it was made by Lawson. 3-possession game now, 8-point lead. Suns not giving up, though. They race up the court here. Washington likely to heave, or he's trying to draw a foul. Maybe he lost it, and that should do it. Lawson turns it back toward half. We'll see if the Suns foul. It looks like they will not. And the 905 are going to dribble out. An impressive win over a tough team in the Valley Suns.
Great win by the 905. I mean, you have to tip your hat to Valley for not quitting, showing no quit. They came back and fought in this game, but I think the 905 did too good of a job from start to finish in this one, playing their game, getting contribution from their bench, from their starters, sharing the basketball. Tough loss for Valley, but great win for the 905.
I want to start with that bench that you mentioned for the 905. They scored almost 70 points in the game to 36 for Valley. You see all these two-ways and assignees come to the 905, and you think, okay, that's going to be the major impact. And it was, but also it was A.J. Lawson coming off the bench with 22 and Jared Roden with 19. A ton of different guys contributing.
And that's exactly what you need from a team. I mean, if you look at across the league, you look at it, any sport nowadays, players are so good, you need contributions from everybody. So, you got to give the guys who come back to the 905 credit for buying into the system and adjusting, and then you got to give the guys who are usually starters their props for coming on and playing well and filling a role.
One of the starters today, Jacoby Walter, had 23, and he's with Akil Augustine.
All right, Jacoby, I'll give you a moment to fix the do, but let's talk about what you guys did on the floor. Impressive performance. Got a little scarier than you wanted. What was key down that stretch?
Really just understanding that they're a three-point shooting team. We let them get hot at the end, but after we had a timeout and we locked in, we said we got to just make sure we got to stay focused, run them off the three-point line, and rebound.
Yourself, when we talk about player development, Ulrich, you guys' games have blossomed so much down here with this team. Talk about the value and really what you're taking the most from your time here with the 905.
Really just, working on your game. Obviously, you want to play up, but if you have the opportunity to better yourself at any point, I say take advantage of the opportunity. We both all got plans, so when we get into these games, we focus on working on the things that we got planned and also what we work off the court on.
Congratulations, Jacoby. Enjoy the win. Ben, what you think?
I think that was about as entertaining as any game we've seen this year, Akil. The 905 pull out a 120-112 win over the Valley Suns. We'll wrap it up next, so don't go anywhere on NBA TV Canada.